Good morning, Facebook. Here today, we're looking at Psalms chapter 64, looking at verses 4 through 6. And now you see in these verses here, it's talking about all those who are talking bad about David, all those who are spreading the gossip, all those who are spreading slander, all those who are turning their backs and coming against David in every aspect of their lives. But you see, these people, they got one thing in common. Itself. They want to demote David so that they can promote themselves. But you see, it didn't always start this way. You see, many of these people who are doing all this to David from the very same nation that David's at. You see, once upon a time, these people, they had a hunger for God. They tried to do what was right. They lived their life according to that Levitical law. They lived their life according to doing God's standards, what was right in God's eyes. But you see, somewhere along the lines, you see, their faith, it faded away. Somewhere along the lines, they got complacent. Somewhere along the lines, their minds started to wander. Somewhere along the lines, their hearts began to be distracted from God in the things of God, in the things that led them closer to God, to all the things that would pleasure themselves, to all the things that made them feel good, to all the things that their hearts desired and their hearts were leading them astray to go after. And you see here in these verses, it explains what happened the more they started to follow their hearts, the more they started to seek after sin, the more they started to make excuses and to justify the open sin that they did in their lives. You see how that created that rift, that no longer were they seeking after God, no longer were that person they desired, no longer were they that person that they used to be, or even did they have that relationship with God that they used to have. But because they started seeking after self, because they started looking after sin, because they started to justify every sin, every bad decision they make in their lives, because that was just merely an ends to a means to them, because they were willing to do and partake in all that stuff that they once did not do. You see how it created a rift. It created this separation in their relationship with God, because now they're looking at self more than they are God. You see these people here, you see their lives are just merely a direct reflection of the desires of their heart. Their lives are a reflection of the very direction that their lives are going in. But us as Christians today, if we take an honest examination of our hearts, what is the condition of our heart? What is the desire of our heart? What is the direction that our heart leads us each and every day? If we look at our lives, whether at work, whether at the grocery store, wherever we are, our lives towards others, are they a reflection of the desires of our heart? Are our lives a reflection of the very love and grace that Jesus Christ showed to us? Or is